I don't know, government may take some decision about that. And particularly, we want to see that within 1 month, what best can be done for these particular students who are going out of the campus within second year students. And first year students after 1 month, and after the government protocol. So that will also go to second year. Okay, so now this is the nature of particular this time. And all these days, once official lockdown is announced, university is very particularly about SOP organized by TUMKUR University COVID team and state team. And we have completely responded as per the government SOP. Now we are offline, and classes have started from last week, and this week we have exam. From Monday we have exams, and our department exam is from 6th. Okay, so this is the nature of our university. So please share me that what best you can help us in these activities.
Sure. So you said one more gentleman is joining. Has he joined?
Yes, Varad. Professor Shekhar, he's he's into all these skilling, and also he is actually coordinating our enhancing the skills and increase the placement opportunities. That kind of interactions, we had a couple of interactions already. Professor Shekhar, thanks for joining. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much. You would like to share, good afternoon, sir. You would like to share anything a little more about university affiliated colleges? How many officers are there? Just take a minute and kindly, so that it will be useful for our interaction.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. I am Dr. B. Shekhar, Professor of Commerce Department, working in TUMKUR University. I am also in charge of University Placement Cell since 3 years. TUMKUR University, I am very happy to introduce of my university. TUMKUR University is a rural university which is established 70 kilometers away of Bangalore, but still it is purely a rural university. TUMKUR district consisting of nearly 10 to 11 talukas. All the 11 to 10 talukas are basically the rural areas, and approximately we have 93 plus 90 plus colleges. So more or less 90, approximately 92, 93, 94 colleges we have, affiliated colleges for our TUMKUR University, and nearly 30 to 40,000 students. I think they are pursuing both UG as well as PG courses in the TUMKUR University. Then, as we have already discussed with Ram sir, how this course or whatever your training program is going to helpful for our students, which has been discussed at length for almost 2 hours. We have discussed in the last meeting. The meeting was held with the principals of various affiliated colleges and also the placement officers of the TUMKUR University. And coming to the present situation, after the the lockdown, now the students are coming regularly to the classes, but here we have examination now going on for all the semesters. In our department from 2nd, I think, but that is Monday. From Monday onwards, we have examination. It will go up to 10th. So 2nd to 10th exam, whatever the remaining subjects are there, we are going to complete all the examinations before 10th in our department, and more or less up to before 15th, examinations will be completed in every department, and classes will be running. And this is the present situation. And our students, basically rural students, I can tell that not exceeding 10% of the people are affordable to pay any amount of fees or money to a larger extent. Whether if it is 200, 500, 300, 5,000 rupees, it is okay. If it is more than 1,000 or 2,000 like that, it will be very difficult for most of the students. And not exceeding 10% or 5% of the people, they are able to meet the whatever the financial burden, because now the impact of COVID is very high, especially on the rural families in Tumkur city, Tumkur district. So this is all the basic information for you. And if you tell this is a structure or the kind or the method you can follow, definitely we will follow. And how best we can help our students, our faculty, our university, definitely, which is going to be a great help for us from your sides. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. B. Shekhar. It's a really wonderful information you both have been given. And let me add to this. You also told in the last interaction that a couple of MNCs like Tata Consultancy Services, they have been providing the training to you, right?
Yes, sir.
So can you give a little more information? What kind of training they're already providing?
Not training, sir. Now I told that the TCS has conducted the interviews, placement drive in Tumkur University. Azim Premji Foundation is also conducted. It is also regularly conducting the campus interviews. Like they are expecting the associates or the assistant professors or teacher associates from the departments of physics, chemistry, mathematics, biochemistry, biotechnology, more of the science subjects, teachers who are going to teach the science subjects. So like regularly the kind of the recruitments are taking place, placement drives are taking place in Tumkur University. And with regard to the training and development, I think Dr. Parshuram and earlier Nooravja was also there. So they are taking care of the skill development or training programs to our students. So my responsibility is to do the campus placements or the like that. So for further you have to ask Dr. Parshuram.
So coming to the topic of the day on the innovation and entrepreneurship, any activity is in place in the university or any affiliated colleges so far, sir, on incubation or pre-incubation? Anything, do you have any such a program already in place?
Sir, we are not getting updated information from the private colleges. Hello.
Okay, sir. But in the university campus, any innovation or incubation center is available?
Now, as of now, there is no. Earlier, it was there actually. IEDC cell was there, sir. Innovation and entrepreneurship development cell. Now, we have skill development center. That is, I think, mostly Parshuram sir or I don't know Nooravja. So they are in charge of this skill development centers.
Rajendra Babu.
Rajendra Babu.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, wonderful. So there is a cell already available, I think. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So I think this information will be useful for our interaction. I request Varad, our lead for innovation and entrepreneurship. He has been doing wonderful programs all across the globe. We are really happy for him to give his valuable time, even though he's very, very busy man. I request Varad to please address now.
Thank you. Thanks, Ram. So I would like to also say a warm welcome to Dr. Shekhar and your colleagues here. What I would like to talk about is today the various entrepreneurship and innovation activities that you can start in your university. I'm basically talking about the pre-incubation program, and we would like to start off by saying that we can do a 2 months program or a 3 months program, depending on, like you said, the budget, if the university is going to pay or is it students going to pay. These are the things that we can decide in the days ahead. But it is not much. Like you said, Dr. Shekhar, we are very much aware. And Lead India Foundation, as you know, we are ourselves not, and we are pretty sensitive about these issues, and this is only the cost that is being paid to the trainer. So it is, as I say, right, you don't want a trainer to give a pro bono service, right? It is not correct, and especially if it is going to be a little intensive, like 6 hours a week. And they're giving some world-class programs. So the person that we are going to be bringing in is someone with a lot of experience in programs across India for various universities, and comes from University of Texas, and has been programs as a not for they are themselves are it, but it is only for the time and effort they charge. So very simple, making it, say for example, you can bring as many students as you want, but they charge like 1 hour 5,000 rupees. And as I said, if it is a 2 months program, it's 2 lakhs. It's 3 months program, it's 3 lakhs. And you can bring in as many students as you want. As you said, this can be spread over the different students, if they can, like you said, people who can afford can pay. And maybe if like some of the other not be paid, maybe subsidized by the university, you can take such a decision. But it is not much, as you can see, right? If you spread it over many students, this can be easily done. And so in short, that in terms of the costing, I wanted to tell you this, the first step, right? And how it is going to be run, let me also walk you through this, because then you'll get an understanding of what value you're going to create out of this. So what we'll do is, there are going to be a total of 8 modules. The first module will be about entrepreneurship orientation structure, and how we'll be doing this whole program. The module 2 will be about ideation structure, and then the next is about the third module is developing core values. Module 4 is business models. Module 5 is marketing and brand communications. Module 6, managing startup finance. 7 is business plan. 8 is presenting your venture. That is this whole, the whole program will end with a demo day, where the students who have made their ideas into startups, or they've ideated it and brought to some level, they'll be able to pitch this and get feedback from the mentors who are going to be there. So that is basically how I would like to convey it, that is all very structured. And to just repeat, it is 40 hours for 2 months, and you can assume it like 6 hours a week. And also, if it is a 3 months, it's going to be 60 hours. And the both the cases, whether it's 2 months or 3 months, the event will finish off with a demo day. So what will happen is, if it's a 3 months, you will get a little bit in-depth feeling of how the whole program is done. So we do more exercise, you'll get more time to interact with the trainers, to also tell you who are the people. There is one Dr. Divya Rajput. As I said, she's a PhD in entrepreneurship, and someone who, as I said, has been working with the University of Texas curriculum and running many incubation programs across the country. And she's been also involved with, this Goldman Sachs NEN scholarship, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and many such accolades she has got herself. Then we have also Dr. Vikas Rajput. He's another PhD. So basically, they're a husband-wife team, and he also brings enormous experience across the board. And as just to add to also, in terms of what Dr. Divya Rajput stands for, she's someone who's won a lot of awards as a woman entrepreneur. And like I said, right, she's been running even the US government's incubation program in India. And then we have Christina Grover, this one more a lady that she'll be also conducting it. And then we have Sonali Bope, and then last one is Richa Sethi. So these are the people who will be conducting it. And I will share all the details with you. And like you said, right, this is the proposal, and we can go over each and every module if you would like at appropriate time, whenever you're ready and whenever you have the time slot, we can plan that. But I think what I walked you through should give you a good idea about what we intend to do.
Thank you very much, Varad, for the great insight how the program will be scheduled in case we start the program. Professor Parshurama, please come up with any questions you have. And this is a more of interactive session. Please feel free and interact as much as you can, and we can answer all of your queries.
Okay, sir. So it was excellent information shared by Varad Krishnan, sir. So let me congratulate you have a wonderful team, and sorry if I have misunderstood the program. Now I am very clear about the information shared by Varad Krishnan. So this is the basic information what we expect, because we have to communicate with the administration and apprise them about the modules, as Varad mentioned about the modules. Now we are very happy about the modules and the proposal. Exactly, it is fantastic idea. And sir mentioned about the maximum students to be enrolled. So one small doubt is about the minimum students. Is there any conditions that this is the minimum students you have like that?
Well, my answer is like this, Professor. It's easy. The more number of students you have, the attention gets a little bit affected, right? You know it, right? So good to have as many students, and let's just have it like an optimum. If you have, let us say, 20, then it becomes very difficult to get attention. But maybe I'm thinking like 50 or something, which means you're able to charge, say, 4,000 rupees for 2 months, or you're charging about 6,000 for a 3 months program. So, this is something I've given you as a ballpark, meaning some rough estimates. But that's fine. I think you get an idea. But let us say if you go, when you go into the details, when it becomes something of interest to you, we can definitely sit across the table and finalize it.
Okay. One more my small apprehension what I can mention is that suggestions we can take it as. Varda, so as I mentioned we have around 4 disciplines, that is science, commerce, management, and social science. Okay, so normally as per my 20 years of experience, and even you people have rounded the world, maybe the entrepreneurial risk and the entrepreneurial behavior is more among the commerce management, or to give more promotions for science students to have startup and innovation incubation. Let us make it as a general program for all students. So we will have a common notice for all the disciplines of our faculty students. But I think we can better focus on some science students who can give very good startup using the central plan. Okay. So last time I had an interaction with the minister. I suggested about Skill City, which is mentioning about particularly startups. So in every smart city, I proposed for Skill City, and it has been approved. Skill Mission is working with me. So like that, I have one more idea already, which has been in the proposal. So I will discuss with you when you are personally here into the campus. So like that, we are happy to understand that the minimum requirement may be 50, and we can accommodate the students. And we are happy to note the modules what you proposed. And particularly, this is about entrepreneur. Okay, so this is what, and earlier our understanding about incubation was only with science students. Okay, so startup and incubation was with that, and you very much clearly mentioned us about the incubation, which is a welcome note for all the students. And I think any startup support from your organization, earlier Ram mentioned a few organizations who got 1 crore investment. So like that, any other continuation support to the students?
Yes, very much. So let me answer the first part of your question. See, we have noticed that there is no such limitation on degrees, right? Or the background, because the entrepreneur can come from any kind of background.
Discipline.
Yeah, any discipline. And Yeah, we have seen that all over the world. So we don't want to put any such restriction. Anybody who's interested can join the program, and we should encourage that. Number two, on support, yes. Pre-incubation is the initial support, but then we provide you all the other areas, like taking them to next level of their development in terms of acceleration. And then after that, we can also connect them to customers, and we also have a program to pitch to investors, connecting to investors. So all of that has happened. And let me give you one example. We did one program for MSRIT, I'm sure you know very well. So that one of the students in the first year in the engineering, he came up with a device, IoT-based device, and he got 1 crore funding at our program. That was organized for a lot of investors from Middle East. And this student, though was in the first year, developed something which is very interesting. We all have multiple choice question papers where we have to mark. So he came with this IoT based, where you can precisely mark this answers, so that many times the marking will go outside the circle, right? So that you didn't want. So he noticed this challenge, and then he came up with this innovation, and he got 1 crore funding, and he's selling every month some 3,000 pieces of that device to many students across the country and even outside India. So this particular investor came from Middle East, called Cocoon Ventures, and they have in fact taken this product to Middle East and beyond. So I just thought I'll tell you this, because we always think about placement, so many lakhs amount came, etc. But here is an interesting aspect where a student went out with 1 crore investment, which is also a very great achievement, because that shows that you can create employment. It's becoming an employee is not a big deal, but then becoming an employer is a very big deal. Yeah, correct. And I keep telling people that the new jobs of tomorrow are not going to come from the companies that are there today. It is going to come from new companies that are not yet formed, are in the process of forming. So this is where these students like these must be encouraged, because they come up with these ideas, innovation that can lead to not only their own growth, but also opportunities for other students to get employed.
Yes, sir. Excellent. I am very much convinced, and now I am very clear. Now, because of this meeting only morning, I could visit the Lead India website. So it is amazing activity you people are doing, and especially bringing the knowledge, skilled people from Texas and Harvard. It's a very big challenge, but we're happy to note your participation. And particularly sorry if we have delayed something on behalf of the public administration part. As I told you, we are more accountable. So I think I'm very much convinced, Varda, and definitely what I can request my colleague, Dr. Shekhar, is that. Shekhar, sir?
Sir, really, sir. Yes, sir.
Next time,
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ವಿಸಿ ಅವರು ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನೀವೇ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ.
Okay.
So I will suggest.
What we can do is that.
Yeah, Professor Shekhar, I completely understand.
Yes.
This is definitely ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಈ ತರ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಅಫೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ನೋಡೋಣ, ನಾವು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟ್ರೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬಿಗ್ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ನಾವು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ನಾವು ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. Let us try and give that opportunity. Let us see the interest from students, and we will find a way to accommodate everybody.
Sir, Varada sir.
Yes, Professor. Yes, I'm there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, ಈಗ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸರ್? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಒಂದು 2 months ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು 4,000 ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
See, I was just telling you that I walked you through the modules, alva. So I can actually do one thing. I'll share an email a little later. Dr. Ram will send it to you. So the way we have planned it out is, see, if it's a 2 months program, It is total amount is 2 lakhs. Okay, that is something we have to pay to the trainer. It is nothing payable to India. You pay to the trainer, and like I mentioned to you, we don't want to take any pro bono service from any trainers because it's hard work for them, and it's their.
Whether 2 lakh is for any number of students?
Yeah, any number of students. But I was telling, your colleague that, see, if you have more students like 70, 80 and all, what is going to happen is the attention giving to the students will become divided. Instead, you can have an optimum. So, see, what they recommend is 50, but you can make it maybe 60. I'm just suggesting so that, the cost can be further reduced per student. That is something we will discuss with the trainer. Okay, I can, once you say that you are ready, I will connect you to Dr. Divya, who is the lead trainer, and then you can discuss with her. She's very accommodative, and she herself runs it's a not-for-profit, organization. So you can discuss with her. She's very accommodative.
Okay, sir.
Varad, what is the success rate of other training programs and activities you have given?
Okay, so those, I think overall, more than 40 programs she has done across the country. And I know her for the last 5 years, and everyone has reported back that it was a life-changing experience for the students. And they all go on to become good entrepreneurs later. This lays a good foundation for them. So that, you don't need to, especially, right, villages, or you can say tier 2, tier 3 towns, there is a lot of challenge. And given this COVID situation, the hiring has become very difficult. These jobs are not many. So best is to get into entrepreneurship because government grants are there today. So that is the other thing which I wanted to also highlight to you is that there is so many schemes from the DST, there is from AIC, and then from AT. All of them are giving grants to students to convert their ideas into innovation, and then it can become a startup. So whether it is converting that idea into prototype, then from prototype to MVP, that is minimum viable product, and then commercialization. All of that help is available. So that is what I'm also suggesting. The government is encouraging this because they also know there is so much difficulty, there is so much challenge in finding jobs. So instead, if you, as they say, the Chinese proverb, right, well-known proverb, you can give one fish to a person, but if you teach him how to fish, then lifelong, he or she can fish himself. So this is basically the idea that if you teach the students to become entrepreneurs, they then have a very strong foundation to create something on their own. And not only that, around their communities, they'll be able to create employment leading to growth of the GDP of the country. That is basically the idea behind it. So all I'm saying is that today it is like when I started my journey, right, I'm a communication engineer. So when I studied, I didn't have all these things when I was growing up in my own university. I was a student of Anna University in Chennai. After that, I went out to study at Stanford. So all I'm saying is that we never had this kind of help those days. But today there is so much help and incentives from the government. It'll be a pity if a student doesn't take advantage of all this. And if it is, like I told you, this pre-incubation program is a great foundation for them. And then there is every levels of help available, mentorship available, so that these ideas can be converted into something valuable.
Yeah, Varad. So even we believe the same, particularly as you know, education must land up in employment or self-employment, but not in unemployment.
Absolutely
okay.
right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, particularly India, we are more worried about giving literacy, but not what exactly after literacy, because we have one of the most powerfully packed youths in the country with around 80-85% of literacy, and only 16% of them are coming to PG, maybe 16 to 20% varying different countries, states. So like that, definitely this may be a good opening for university, and also to have a good network with Lead India Foundation, as you mentioned about a service activity. Shekhar sir.
Sir.
Like our detailed DPR ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. Let them send the DPR.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, ಈಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು I think, in the beginning only, Professor Parshuram already told you, with regard to financial burden, we have to seek the approval of the academic council, syndicate, and the authorities of the university, if it is going to be sponsored by TUMKUR University. One side. The another, the route is that if we are offering to the students, then, we have to go to the different colleges. We have to request the principals who is interested. We have to communicate everything to the students, and students in turn, they have to give the willingness and whatever the other, they have to satisfy with the conditions. Then, this has to be commenced. So this is the two structures we do have with regard to the commencement of this training program to our students. And one
Absolutely.
more.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And one more. Selection of 50 or 100 will be a difficult for even TUMKUR University also.
Understand.
I already told you, UG and PG, approximately 40,000 students are there. How many are UG, how many are PG, and we have nearly 25 to 30 departments are there. So everything, these are the certain, practical issues I am bringing to you.
Sure.
So what is important is that students are not just like the students of the Bangalore or other big metropolitan cities. I already told you in the beginning only, I was telling to Professor Ram sir, our university is a rural university, sir. And most of the students, more than 50% of the students are coming from SC, ST, OBCs, category 1 and other OBC category. And only 20 to 30% are from other communities. So here, especially most of the students are hailing from the rural background and very, very poor background. So these are all certain practical issues, practical problems. Just I am bringing to you. You please make a mind so that you will be giving 100% service to our students. At what best you can provide an opportunity for the students of TUMKUR University to inculcate the entrepreneurial qualities and the skills or the abilities or the competencies, so that they will be the greatest assets of the nation. So please think on that. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Please go ahead, sir. Please continue, sir.
Yeah, you please think on that, and you please, Ram sir, you please discuss with our Honorable Vice Chancellor. So these are the certain issues we have already told you. The same thing will be, definitely our VC will be going to, instruct you in future also. So you please discuss all these issues with our Honorable Vice Chancellor. So whatever he says, we will just, definitely we will work sincerely, honestly, to provide whatever the a platform to our students to make this program more effective, and so that it will be a great name to you also, as well as our university also. So thank you, sir.
Agreed, sir. And already Mr. Varad quoted one great fact. It is an example. One student, whoever got this kind of training, and he got mentored by this program. He got over 1 crore of rupees worth of investment funding, and now he is able to, become a great entrepreneur. So even across all 100 to close to 100 colleges, even one such entrepreneur comes up, it is a great, what I could say, great name and fame for the TUMKUR University, right?
Yes, sir.
So we have to think in that perspective. The talent will get money, from any kind of way. It is the talent actually we need to identify, and we need to groom them. Whatever, suppose some students may have the talent, but because there is no support, the talent will be hidden, right? So this is the pre-incubation training is one kind of a tool. What I could see, the potential of the student will be known to all the faculty and the leadership team who are engaged in the entrepreneurial activity. So this is the great opportunity, I could say, rather than thinking about the financial aspects. So we need to think in that direction. And I request all of the leadership team, money will come back to us. Suppose we spend 2 lakhs today, It is about crores of rupees coming back to us tomorrow. And thousands of employees we are going to create, and thousands of entrepreneurs we are going to create. That is the great effect we are going to have when we think of this limited, very limited money. We are doing this on a non-profit basis and a very effective way. So let us definitely again, if there is any concern to great talented students, we can definitely consider. That's what Varad ji said. We can sit together and come back with kind of any other possibilities, right?
So I would like to add here one more thing to Dr. Shekhar's and Dr. Parshuram's, all the inputs. Also, Dr. Ram, I want to tell you one thing. As you know, we are not taking, from the Read India point of view, not even 1 rupee. This whole money is going to only the trainers. And we are doing it as you heard already, just as a service for the community, for the youth of the tomorrow. And it's because it was Dr. Kalam's dream to empower the youth. And I recollect even at IIT Mumbai, one of his speeches, he said to the students, all the BTech students were graduating, he said, getting jobs, I know many of you got jobs, but that is not a big deal. He said, you go on to create companies, you go on to create, innovation. He said, that is what will be appreciated. I would appreciate any one of you who becomes an entrepreneur. This is the speech he gave at the convocation. So I'm just saying this is a tribute. We are celebrating, as you know, right? This is his 90th birth anniversary year. And considering all these aspects, we are doing it all as a not-for-profit without expecting anything in return, just for the contribution to the society, for the whole, I would say, entrepreneurial community. That is the idea. And more importantly, like I said, right, is 2 lakh. You can consider maybe half of it coming from the university, other half coming from students, just to incentivize the students. Now, you can come up with any model, but I will put everything on the table so that, nothing is hidden here, everything is transparent. And not only that, let me tell you, when I connect you to Dr. Divya Rajput, you can always talk to her. And this is what they are doing for so many universities across the country, even poorest universities, tier 3 universities like Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir. Very recently, they did a similar program for Jammu and Kashmir University. Similar ones they've done across Rajasthan, in Gujarat, Maharashtra, and so on. And so it is not anything new. They've been years. So you can talk to her. She understands all these challenges. She understands all these problems.
Now, Varad, we trust you. We have accepted your statements. The project and proposal is very much clearly convinced today, right now, by you. And as Shekhar sir mentioned, I think Dr. Ram can directly have a word with our VC sir, mentioning about the meeting. And we will follow the instructions given by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Varad.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Am I clear now?
Yeah, thanks. So as a next step, Dr. Ram, you can send an email with the course modules, content, everything, like a kind of a proposal, and let the Vice Chancellor take a decision, how they want to move ahead.
Sure.
So we will also give our observations to Honorable Vice Chancellor, telling that this is a wonderful team and resource persons are excellently qualified, skilled, and let us share their talent with our young talents. So as we can also mark our presence in the global entrepreneurial world. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you so much. Yes. So just to conclude, right? Just to conclude, I want to tell you we run.
Sir.
So, hello.
Sir, I have one clarification.
Yes, please.
See here, you are, I think, very experts in providing training program to the youngsters, right, sir?
Yeah. No, we are not saying experts.
No.
We are doing our best.
Correct, sir. No, we assume that no problem, sir. So you are doing your job, sincerely, honestly. It doesn't mean that you are expert.
Yeah.
So what is my suggestion is to you that, do you have any program or any activity or any suggestions to the For example, permanent faculty, we have approximately 500 and non-teaching approximately 100 to 200. And the family members of the teachers as well as non-teaching staff is also there. Would you suggest so much kind of the specialized training program to our family members or the teachers, teaching and non-teaching staff, so that they will be getting much usefulness from yours, the experience training modules, and whatever the practical the ideas, how to start a small business, how to start, what are the various avenues are available to start up to the new ventures. So if you suggest, that will be better, because approximately 500 employees or all the affiliated college principals, teachers are there. We have approximately 100 into 5,000 approximately 5,000 teachers are there in TUMKUR University. So any 50 or 100, if they join by paying 5,000, 10,000, doesn't make any difference, because teachers are drawing 1 lakh, 2 lakh, like that. So would you suggest any beautiful structured training modules or the training platform, why not, to the teaching and non-teaching staff?
Definitely a good point you brought up. Thank you, Dr. Shekhar. I want to tell you that this is what is happening in other universities. I'm associated with many global universities. So I noticed that more and more professors are actually becoming entrepreneurs. And more importantly, they're becoming mentors to these students. Because see, what is happening is, when you start teaching all these kind of programs, like I told you, 2 months, 3 months in pre-incubation, student will start getting new ideas. So then the problem comes is that there is nobody to guide them. And if there is a program to teach these educators about what to do when student comes forth with such ideas, instead of discouraging him, we should encourage him.
Yes.
We should.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying that kind of a program can be conducted where there is a possibility of this professor or this educator also becoming a co-founder with this student. Then you can convert those ideas into entrepreneurial activities, into innovation with your help, because you have so much experience in a particular field, say for example civil engineering or mechanical engineering, etc. So you have some knowledge about it. So combining with the student, this is what is happening in other parts of the world. So usually the professor joins the students, guides them to some level, and they get equity for it. And then the product becomes a reality. You can raise investments. And as I said, there are grants available from the government of India. And you can convert all this into innovation and raise further rounds of investments. And this becomes a proper startup. So then you're creating local employment, the growth of the local economy, wherever they are.
Yes, sir. Sir, I do agree with all your statements, sir. My question is very simple, sir. We will continue whatever the student training program according to the approval of the academic syndicate and Honorable Vice Chancellor, your program. Definitely we do agree that. But I just am asking whether is there any platform for all faculty members and non-teaching or any other the interested participants, if they can join the other separate program, not the
No, I know that is what I'm only telling you, that Dr. Shekhar, that there is another program that we can start parallelly for the benefit of all the educators.
Okay,
we can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Yes, sir.
Varad, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, one small clarification. So
Yes,
let us
please.
hope that let this pandemic go away with the second wave only. In case if it continues, I think the modules will be online, no?
It will be online.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you are also ready to give offline?
Yeah, they're ready to give offline as well as online. No problem at all.
Okay, good. So
yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. You please send all the details to both Parshuram as well as myself, so that we will be communicating to the concerned authorities. We will discuss and we will intimate you, sir, later.
Yeah, absolutely. We should do that.
Varad, sir.
See what? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, please request Dr. Ram, because ours is a system, So maybe it will take exactly 20 to 25 days to put it on paper. Okay. So we know his concern and commitment to the organization which he has selected. So even we have certain what I can say protocols. So exactly it will take 20-25 days to be on black and white. Okay, Varad?
No problem at all. See, this is basically which the VC has to decide, matter of urgency. And, we don't want to delay this any further because, like this COVID situation, something can come in the future. Nobody expected this. Right? So it is good to have alternate employment even for
no, it may
members,
happen
right?
before that also, but what I'm telling is that the minimum ceiling what we can limit, because so there will be a lot of procedures to be followed when we set up
Fully
the
understand.
papers to the university.
No problem at all. Fully understand. Yeah.
So yeah, a very, very fruitful and very informative discussion. I really thank all of you here, especially the faculty of the TUMKUR University, Mr. Professor Parshurama, then Professor Shekhar, and our leader, Mr. Varad Rajan Krishna. Hopefully, we continue this program in the TUMKUR College, TUMKUR University, and also affiliated colleges coming, in the next 1 month or so. We definitely understand Parshurama Garu and Shekhar ji. You have definitely time constraints to get the approvals and all that. We respect whatever the formalities you have, and we wait for whatever the approvals you need, and let us definitely take this further, not only for the students, for the faculty and non-teaching faculty and their member community, everyone. The entrepreneurial thinking is everywhere. Only thing is the mentorship and grooming is not happening. That is where Lead India Foundation wanted to give selfless support. We cannot give ourselves. If we have this qualification of providing training, we can definitely give completely free of cost. We are there to serve, but we need to depend on some other trainers who live on this. This is
No,
their life.
don't worry about money. Already we are convinced.
Yeah,
Need not worry particularly mention about money. Please continue with the further proceedings as we discussed. So please discuss with our Honorable Vice Chancellor, and also please, as Varada mentioned, please send a DPR to the university mail mentioning the discussions what we before had now. Okay?
Sure, sir. Sure. We'll do that. Thank you very much, all of you, once again, and look forward to have a next level great meeting again. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm closing now. Thank you.